Hey, I'm Anjali. This is Chai Chat and Change. In this show, we meet people around the world who are doing powerful things without spotlight. This show is all about real talk, real impact. And in my first podcast, first episode, the guest is so special, not just because it's a first episode, but because she's none other than my crafting mentor. So please welcome. Meet Cindy Saraga, the maker behind Cindy SewnStitch, where fabric meets function with flair. From aprons to custom onesies, we chat about how she stitched her way from homemaker to handmade boss. So here is Cindy!
Hi!
Cindy, how was your journey so far?
Very nice. It is exciting and I can't wait to see it all put together.
Let's stitch the story together with our first question. What kind of things you love making, and can you tell us about your products?
Yes, the things that I like to make is 100% cotton fabric. It's just easier for me to work with. Just love sewing it. I pre-wash it before I use it so the shrinkage is out already. And the uniqueness is the crossbody purses, the aprons, which is my design. And that was an answered prayer that I prayed about because I did one apron and fell in love with it. It was such an easy sew for me. So, and then I went to bed that night and I prayed about it and what can I do to make it different? And the good Lord says, Cindy, put a strap on it to hang a towel on it, and that way you don't throw the towel over your shoulder. It's stuck to your apron, and so it's more hygiene that way actually. And I couldn't wait to get up the next morning and cut out my apron and figure out how I was going to make that, and it just came together so beautiful.
Cindy, what inspired you to start this business?
Well, way back, I got married to the lovely man that I'm married to still today after 30 years. And we moved to California. So all my family was still in Georgia and we was off to California. I was 8 months pregnant with Michael, my oldest son. And it kind of got lonely out there. And I've always was intrigued about quilts, how people took scraps of fabric and put them together and it comes out so beautiful. So I asked my husband one day, I said, can I take a quilt class? And he was like, yeah. So, and my mom was with me at the time. So she said, I'll watch the boys as long as I get the first quilt. I said, a deal. So I went to the school. They had an adult learning class there. And I met up with these bunch of sweet, sweet ladies that took me under the arm. And they were showing me how to quilt. It was funny because I messed up a couple because I was in a sewing factory a lot of my life, and so I was splitting the seams on the quilt, and they was like, oh, no, don't split your seam, and I'm like, oh, do I need to start over? Oh, no, it'll be fine. So the first quilt, it did turn out pretty, but it had a lot of boo-boos, but my mom loved it anyway. So that started my journey, and one of the quilts that I did is some of my boys here. This is after I've got a little experience under my belt, and I designed my own quilt. I did this with no pattern at all. It was a lot of fun. It was challenging, but nevertheless, it's one of my favorites. And here's the other side on the back.
Oh, look. Whose picture is this?
I think that one is Dominic.
Oh.
Yes. And, well, it's been almost 30 years, so it might even be Michael. But I have to study the pictures because when you get my age now, it's a little hard to remember. But anyhow, that started my sewing journey. And I just love the sound of the machine. If I'm stressed out during the day and if I could just sit down and just sew some straps or make something, it just takes your mind off of everything and you're just in your own little work zone and being creative. And then when I got here to North Carolina, I met up with this lady. Her name was Linda Marston, and she was so funny. And I was telling her, I said, I'd love to do a craft show. She said, oh, I did those back in New York. I said, no way. Well, how did you do that? And so she and I tag teamed for a weekend in Fuquay Arena. And I said, I'll pay for it if you'll do the first one, because it was my son's birthday, so I couldn't go participate. She said, that's fine, that's fine. So she went and did the show for us. Well, the second weekend I went, I was hooked, because I painted these little mason jars, mayonnaise jars actually, is recycled, and I painted a pumpkin on it and had flowers coming out of its hair, and people were buying them, and that impressed me. So that was a lot of fun too. That started my journey for crafting.
How did your journey from home hobbyist to woman entrepreneur begin?
So my journey started off, I got a phone call one day from an owner of a building downtown Apex. I left my card probably about 6 months prior or to a year. And for some reason, he said he kept my card. So this little shop came available, and he calls me and he says, I don't know if you'd be interested, but we have a little small shop. And I was like, is it on the main street? And he was like, oh yeah, it's on the main street. And I got really excited. And I was like, okay, can I come and see it now? And he was like, sure, come on down. I've never had a store, so I didn't know what to do. So I go down and I says, all right, I go talk to the other owners that was in there, and asked her some questions. Was it doable with the lights and all this stuff? She said, oh yeah, yeah. And I was so excited. I get on my phone and call my husband and says, we need to meet for lunch. And he's like, why? And I'm like, well, I just got a call from a guy that owns one of these shops down here, and he would like to know if I'd be interested in opening a storefront. And I'm like, do you think we can do that? And he was like, do you think you can get 10 people to consign? And I'm like, well, I'm sure I can. So with that saying, I came up with some people's names and contacted them and asked them if they'd be interested in consigning with me if I open up a shop. And they said, oh, absolutely. So that's how my storefront journey started. And then we went from there, and we made it happen. I did a lot of praying about how the store was run, and I was able to host other artisans to showcase their work. So it was like a win-win. So it gave me a unique place to sell my own goods. At the same time, I was helping other people, and I got to meet so many people coming in, and then I got to brainstorming, how can I make it work better? And so I started off in sewing classes, and then that was a lot of fun. So I think the good Lord wanted me to teach a little too. And I fell in love with that, had some really special students, and I think every student that I had, I become my best friends. It was so much fun to do that. And I was blessed to be there almost 10 years in that shop to run that. And it did have its challenges because I didn't have a high school education. So my journey spent a lot in prayer. How do I do certain things? But I truly believe that God put other special people in my life that could do the other things, and we just networked together, and it even made it more special. And then, you know, it was good for some people and it wasn't good for some others. So just saying, if you put God first in your business, in your life, He will take care of you. And that's pretty much how that journey started. And so after 10 years, I closed down my shop and started rebranding to Cindy SewnStitch, and got some help from some close, dear friends like Anjali, is true to my heart, and Nancy. I just love her too as well. some really, really close friends. I was just humbly blessed that just popped in my life, and I know God sent them there for me. And that's how it started. So now we're off to another adventure with Cindy SewnStitch, and let's see where that journey goes.
What were some challenges you faced along the way?
Some of the challenges that I had faced through my 10 years experience with consignment shop was my husband teased me a lot about, you can't be a businesswoman and have friends. And I'm like, no, I think not. I felt like the right person would come along for me that I can have that friendship and business relationship with. So some of the challenges was I would get really friendly with people that I meet that come into the store, and we'll start talking a little bit. Next thing I know, we become best friends, or at least what I thought. But some just kind of went away. It's like bad apples. Some stayed, some turned sour. But just don't stop, because there is the right person out there for you that'll help you in your software, your bookkeeping. I got the beautifulest young lady that helps me in my bookkeeping, and she's really, really sweet. And then let's see who else that I had come in. Technical support was my husband. He did have my back on that, and doing the tax paperwork best he could, and when he remembered. So that was a challenge, but just stick with it. And you can have that relationship with people, a personal relationship as well as a business relationship, and watch each other grow. I think that's the most exciting part. Just hang in there, because it works. It works.
So Cindy, we always talk about faith, God. I think this has always been our common topic of discussion. I wanted to know one thing, how your faith supported you throughout your journey.
Well, first, I pray about different situations that I'm challenged with on a daily basis. As I walk through the store for the first time, wondering if it's for me or not, or should I take the faith and try this? As I was walking through the store, I could feel God's presence there, like, it is your turn to give this a try. And then after almost 9 years, I was ready to shut down, because actually traffic got slower and slower. By then I was exhausted anyway, so I knew that it was time to wrap it up and give up my shop. I prayed about that too, because I had been there for so long, and I knew it was such a special gift that he gave me, that opportunity to live a dream. And you remember, and I'm sure you've probably heard this yourself, if you do what you love, you never work a day in your life. And literally, I got to experience that through my faith, through Jesus.
Cindy, tell me, what sparks your creativity and inspires you to make these functional products?
So the creative process is, first of all, you gotta like what you make. You gotta enjoy sewing it. You gotta enjoy making it, and have fun with it. So once you come up with something that you really enjoy and like, it's easy to mass produce. So then the next step is, well, I gotta be able to mass produce it quick. It's gotta be functional for selling purposes, because the more functional it is, people are gonna more out to buy it and like it. So, and where I draw inspiration from is I like watching other people's YouTubes, seeing how they process different ways and come up with different techniques. That's a lot of fun. Every once in a while they'll kind of let something slip, and you say, I'll try that. That'll work. And then I pray about it. So if I see another product on the line, I think, well, I can make that, and what can I do different? So I'll have to change the whole process up so it'd be my own product. So that's how I strategize my new products that I do.
How excited are you about the year ahead?
All right, for the coming year, we're gonna have some exciting news with new products, and the products that I do have, they sell like crazy. Like the crossbody purses is the #1 top selling thing that I make. They're so lightweight, functional. They're good if you go into a basketball game and they only let you carry in a certain size purse. So you put your phone in the back pocket and then put your little wallet inside the zipper pocket, and it's cross the body adjustable straps. And if you like, you can go to my website and check us out there as well. We're gonna have Instagram and TikTok going. That's my next goal, is getting TikTok and sell on TikTok. I think that'll be a lot of fun too as well. And that's what I see for coming first of the year. So stop by and give us a check out.
What's one piece of advice you like to give to other women entrepreneurs?
So my advice to other entrepreneurs, stay true to yourself, enjoy what you're doing. You'll have good days and there's going to be a lot of bad days. But nevertheless, if something is not working for you, try something else. Always try to come up with new products, new way of doing things. Pay attention to what people are asking you for. Like somebody comes up and asks you a question, believe it or not, your customers will give you all your answers. If you just listen to what they're asking, take what they're looking for, and you create that product for them and make it unique and special to them, and they will always come back to you. Just keep your chin up and keep sewing or painting, whatever it is that brings you joy. And it has to bring lots of joy to keep going for it. So that is my advice for the future, for young people that want to give it a shot. You know, I've watched YouTubers that did making scrunchies and bought a house making scrunchies. To me, that's incredible. And I'm so inspired with those people. Am I going to make a bunch of scrunchies? No, it's not my cup of tea. I do make some, they're fun, but I like making a bunch of different products so I don't get too bored with just one or two little things. So you just keep trying.
What's been the proudest moment of your life so far?
So one of my most proudest moments is making my apron and seeing it come to life. So I started making the aprons and they were one-sided. I used muslin on the back. Each year I got blessed with another idea to enhance it, make it better and better. And so then I started making it reversible, and it just got exciting. And then with the kids' aprons one year, I said, oh, let's put pockets and put utensils in it and put a little cake mix in it. Now it's a really unique gift. The customer don't have to go out and say, oh, let me find the spatula or the cake mix to go with it. It is ready for you when you shop with me. That is one of my most proudest moments, and knowing that God blessed me with those unique ideas, because He's the one that controls my brain, to be honest. So it's a lot of fun to see what else He gives me each day.
All right, Cindy, time for some fun. Let's play a little Would You Rather.
So, Cindy, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Bible verse or a novel?
Bible verse.
Would you like to hand stitch your quilt, or rather you like machine?
Machine quilting, but I love doing hand binding, so that is hand stitch.
Lastly, where can people find and follow your beautiful work?
So you can find my products in Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, in the description below. If you don't really want to buy a product, you can reach out and say, hey, Cindy, how you doing today? that would make my day, just to say hello. And hopefully I can make something unique for you. And keep in mind, we do make custom quilts as well. If you like to have a photo quilt or your baby's shirts cut up into a quilt. And if you want to learn how to quilt, you can also reach out to me.
Are you looking forward for your YouTube channel?
Absolutely. It's going to be amazing. Anjali is a pro.
So, lovely viewers, don't forget to visit Cindy's channel. Love, like, share and subscribe. Thank you.